Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Thank you for tuning into this video. Now, what I was talking about in yesterday's video is starting to happen. Prices do not explode and keep going upwards. There has to be somewhat of a correction, somewhat of a dip, and right now silver seems to be in that stage. It's kind of in limbo mode, sitting between $23 and $22.50. It's going up and down from there, but not to worry. This is just the support that silver needs to stay above, and it's holding its ground. You can see the stability. All of these key support levels would have been breached if silver wasn't bullish, but you can see it gets around $22.50, bounces up, $22.50, bounces up, $22.50, bounces up, and now it's happening again as we speak. So this means there is a lot of stability. There's a nice foundation, and silver prices can hold and withstand this. So prices are even more bullish than ever, looking at what has been happening over the past couple days. Now I wanted to make this video because I don't want especially there's so many new stackers, there's so many new investors. I don't want people to get scared and think that maybe silver's not a good investment. This is normal. If you're a new stacker, this is actually healthy for a market. You don't want a market to just keep going upwards, because then a huge crash happens. Look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin just went up, and then it crashed. Now you want the markets to go up and down a little bit. This is just an opportunity to buy for a little cheaper if it goes down a little bit more. And if not, then then take the opportunity from the top. So with this video, I'm going to be talking about how the silver bull market's taking a breather and how high can it go from here. It's going to be explaining a little bit of what's going on with silver prices and where they're headed. So before we start, make sure to smash that like button. Let's see if this video can get 300 likes. If you love precious metals, if you are bullish on silver, smash that like button. Also, make sure you're subscribed, because I post daily videos, 2 to 3 videos a day. If you want to stay informed on a day-to-day basis, which you should, what's happening in the world of precious metals, this is your channel. The first setback, and a pretty minor one, has occurred in silver's rally this week. The question now is whether or not this is a simple pause or the start of an unraveling. COMEX silver futures closed lower on Thursday for the first time in 4 days, and were set for a second daily decline on Friday morning in Europe, while gold held mostly steady. Over the past few weeks, the two precious metals have hit back-to-back milestones. Buoyed by guarantee of cheap money from central banks around the world to fight this virus, silver is still on course for a 6th consecutive week of gains, its longest such stretch since 9-week rally back in 2017. Benchmark silver futures were down around 0.7% to $22.82 an ounce, having hit a 7-year peak of $23.34 a day earlier. To put it in perspective, for anyone worried about a 0.7% decline, the price is still up by more than 15% in this week alone, and up 23% in the month of July. So not to worry. Look at it. Look at this graph, right? It's not to worry. So it's silver overbought. And this is we're probably going to sit here for a second, because it's very important to talk about. See, yes, it is overbought. Such concerns are justified because some of the biggest market upsets have begun with the tiniest of reversals. Also, the bigger the gain, the higher the chance that at some point the price will correct lower. And that's what I was kind of talking about yesterday when I was talking about silver prices are going to be dropping soon. So silver has a track record of doing precisely this. In the last 30 years, the price has registered a daily drop of more than 10% on at least 8 occasions, compared to never in gold. The closest gold has come was a 9.3% decline in April 2013. See, silver is more volatile than gold. Silver hits higher highs and lower lows. I like to call it gold on steroids. It does what gold does, but to much more extremes, to a much more exaggerated percentage. If gold's going to be rising 16, 17%, silver's going to be rising 27, 28, 29%. But it also works on the other end of the spectrum. If gold's going to be dropping 15, 16, 17%, silver's going to be dropping 28, 29, 30%. So there is more reward, but there also is more risk. But at this point, it might be more appropriate to ask whether the silver rally will resume in earnest, and if so, how much higher could the price go given the economic backdrop? Vladimir Zernov, an independent analyst, thinks that silver can get to $24.50, its highest since August 2013. But he also cautions that the market is looking overbought, and more and deeper corrections may be necessary before silver regains the strength for a significant wave higher. See, For silver to go higher, it actually has to go down. Let's read that again. Corrections may be necessary before silver regains the strength for a significant wave higher. Corrections, dips, sell-offs, it's all the same word. It's necessary for silver to go higher. A lot of new investors probably can't comprehend that as going backwards. Why would the price of silver need to go down for it to go up? And it's not as complex as it seems, but it definitely has an effect. Everything's intertwined, from perspective to from people putting silver in a category that is that has to do with with skepticism, with the outsiders looking in and with biased opinion, right, with speculation, with fear. It's all intertwined in the economy, and people base their investing off of this. That's why I try to say take the emotional attachment out of an investment, out of investing, especially with an investment that shouldn't be based off of speculation like silver. So the gold to silver ratio may be key. See, Zernoff cites the gold to silver ratio, a simple measure of relative performance, which he said was out of whack at the moment. He also discusses the potential strengthening of the dollar, a dynamic that almost certainly weakens commodity prices each time. The gold to silver ratio is calculated by dividing the price of gold by that of silver. On Friday, the ratio was at 82 to 1 as gold futures hovered at $1,885 an ounce versus silver's sub 23. The ratio hit a record high of nearly 127 to 1 in mid-March, when we remember that was when $12 silver was happening, and the ratio averaged just under 60 to 1 for decades. Zernoff said the ratio was now in oversold territory, as indicated by the relative strength indicator, or RSI, highlighting silver's performance or outperformance relative to gold. A correction would mean that the outperform silver either by rising more or falling less. So if you want the gold to silver ratio to lower, silver has to either appreciate or gold has to depreciate, and more than likely silver is going to be the one appreciating, because gold isn't going to drop too far. So gold's potential pullback would be negative catalyst for silver, especially after a major rally. So watch the dollar as well. As for the dollar, Zernoff said the currency has played a pivotal role in boosting silver towards resistance at $23.25. The dollar index, which measures the performance of the greenback against 6 major currencies, has slid steadily from 17-year highs of 103.96 in March to below 95 now, its lowest in almost 2 years. The dollar could recover from here, though, according to currency traders. In case the US dollar index manages to stay above 95 and starts to rebound, silver may experience some pressure, and that's true. The dollar index and silver are opposite. They're like magnets. When silver prices are high, the dollar index is low. When the dollar index is high, silver prices are low. So Christopher Lewis, another independent analyst who blogs on FX Empire, says it might not be sensible to hold an outright short on silver at this point. He adds, however, a significant pullback is more likely than not due to the fact that we have covered more real estate in the last couple of days than we have over the last several months. As long as that's the case, you find the markets are going in overbought position, and a lot of traders will be more than willing to take a $2 gain after the breakout and wait for an opportunity to buy silver at lower levels. And that's so true. People are going to be selling right now, taking some profits, which is totally normal. You know, I recommend it, right? A lot of people bought silver at $13, $14, $15, and right now they're making $7, $8, $9 profits, and why not? Especially for a market like silver, that's a huge gain. So it doesn't mean that silver's not going to go higher. It just means that a lot of people are selling, but as the price drops, people are going to be buying it up, which also pushes the price higher again. Those are huge gains in this market, so I think at this point it makes quite a bit of sense to bring the cash register. Lewis added that it would not surprise him to see a pullback towards $21 before silver resumed its bounce and headed much higher. The $20 level underneath should be a massive floor for the market out, and they're saying that silver will not drop below $20. There's going to be a massive support level. And the silver bull is probably safe longer term. And see, I'm more bullish for the long term. The short term, the day-to-day prices are basically irrelevant to me. I still check them. I still research them. I still share the context behind them. I still give my opinion because I'm an influencer. I have a YouTube channel, but if it was just me not making YouTube videos, I really wouldn't watch the price every day, unless something like right now during all this chaos, I would. But when it's just, normal, when times are quote unquote normal, or when times go back to normal, I usually don't check on a day-to-day basis because I'm not selling for 10, 15, 20 years anyway. So the day-to-day price right now is irrelevant. But, so The faith of the silver bulls over the longer term will probably not be misplaced. He suggested, I do believe that silver goes higher over the longer term based on what the Federal Reserve is doing with the US dollar. That's one of the major reasons, the most influential reason why silver has potential is because the dollar is weakening. The dollar has lost 98% of its purchasing power due to inflation, or rather hyperinflation, and the dollar's burning. There has to be a new form of money, and money is something that cannot be created nor destroyed, so gold and silver is definitely keen, and it's the top dog for that. So the Federal Reserve, or the US dollar, is being crushed by the Federal Reserve, as has been massive quantitative easing, or also stood for QE, over the last couple of months, and there looks to be more coming. You know, stimulus packages in the trillions of dollars right now, which is crazy. There are other spillover effects from what the Fed and other global central banks are doing. So, triple-digit silver. Given all these bullish factors, will silver prices reach triple digits someday? Dumb Wealth, an investment portal that attempts to educate investors on hard-to-answer questions, says this in a blog post on Seeking Alpha. Valuing precious metals, which don't provide a cash flow, is an art form. There is no absolute correct way to do it. Will silver actually reach triple digits? Nobody can say what the correct gold to silver ratio is, but we can use history as a guide. So let's use history as a guide. The gold to silver ratio back in the day used to be 2.5 parts silver equals 1 part gold. That's in ancient biblical times. So it was 2.5 to 1. Over time, it's usually around 16 to 1. So if the gold to silver ratio is 16 to 1, that puts silver much higher, much higher, since right now the ratio's 86 or 84 to 1 right now. So silver has a lot of catching up to do. Now 16 to 1 is not realistic in today's time, so let's go with like 60 to 1. That still puts silver roughly around $100, especially as gold rises. So $100 silver is definitely plausible, especially if you want to look at it from a gold to silver ratio standpoint. But who knows? I'm not gonna try to get you too excited. If it would hit $100, it would take several years. Not saying it's gonna happen overnight. Anyways, I'm gonna post a link to this article in the description if you want to check it out yourself. Make sure to smash the like button. We have a 300 like goal on this video. Smash that like button if you love precious metals. Smash the like button if you are bullish on silver. Make sure you subscribed. We are on the way to 29,000 subscribers. I cannot thank you guys enough for the insane support. I'm going to wrap this one up here. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.